Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Welcome to the Gospel Road. We are going to look at 1 John 4, and not bad. Hopefully you had a good week, having a good weekend. Not a whole heck of a lot going on. I know it's pretty warm around here. Could even use some rain. We're supposed to get some rain today. Did not happen, though. Looks like there might be some rain coming next week. I'm actually looking at the lawn because be about the time that I mow it, but not sure that's going to happen. It's so dry. Not even the weeds are growing. And it's pretty crunchy out there stepping on it. But again, hopefully you are having a good day and getting things taken care of that you need to get taken care of. We're going to be looking at 1 John 4 today. I'm trying to think any other big news this week. Not really. Not really a lot going on. And in fact, didn't really see anything new. I know a few more things are opening up. A couple movie theaters in town. They did. I know they've got some movies this weekend. Older movies, in fact. I think Ghostbusters and Empire Strikes Back and Back to the Future, I think I heard someone saying. So there are a few things that you can go out and do, be part of it. Did my normal Saturday errands, and then I've got a few things I got to get done tomorrow too, helping someone. Don't forget tax day. That is Wednesday is the 15th. So if you've took your leisure on getting those done, be sure that you get that taken care of. So just a few days away. Wednesday. You need to have those taken care of. Otherwise, I have an extension put in so that way you do not get in trouble. All right, let's go ahead and get started. It says, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world. By this you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, and every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you heard was coming and now is in the world already. Little children, you are from God, and you have overcome them. For he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. They are from the world, therefore they speak from the world, and the world listens to them. We are from God. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. By this we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love God or does not know love does not know God, because God is love, and in this the love of God was made manifest among us, that God has sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. In this is love, not that we have loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. If we love one another, God abides in us, and his love is perfected in us. By this we know that we abide in him, and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. And we have seen and testified that the Father has sent his Son to be the Savior of the world. Whoever confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him, and he in God. So we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. By this is love perfected with us, so that we may have confidence for the day of judgment, because as he is, so also are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. We love because he first loved us. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him, whoever loves God must also love his brother. 1 John 4 is what we're looking at today. And I have to be honest, that's actually one of my favorite scriptures, is 1 John 4:20. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, for he is not seen. Love and hate cannot abide in the same spot. It's love or hate. Pick one. We're dealing with a lot of that right now. A lot of that. We're seeing it in the news. We're seeing it in our communities. And it's disappointing to see how we have not grown. We have not become better people. We've advanced so far, but yet we are still so far behind. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure this will ever go away. I will say that. I'm not sure it will ever go away. I think this is something that we will always have to live with in one form or another. As soon as you think you have it taken care of, it rears its head again. Someone wants to remember. Someone wants to constantly remind others. People want to play the victim. And that doesn't matter what color your skin is. People want to play that. They want to play the victim card because they are not wanting to receive help. They do not want to change the way they live. It's upsetting. You see many people that try to get along, want to get along, and then others that want to just keep putting some sort of separation. Love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Take care of your brother and your sister. If they need help, you be there for them. It does not matter if they believe the same way you do. I do not care if they are Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Catholic. Put your label on them. Even in denominations, Methodist, Lutheran, Baptist. It does not matter. If they need help, we help them. Peace and harmony. The Bible talks about that, about how we come together as one to be there for one another. A community comes together to help someone in need, not asking for their credentials to make sure it's okay. They just do it. I honestly think about it, and I'm not sure how I see how this is hard to understand. But I guess many people find it difficult to understand, to deal with. And it's upsetting. It's disappointing. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about, and this is going back to Jesus music, so back in the 60s and 70s, and there was a band that was just starting out. He'd been playing for a couple years, but he mostly did acoustic, and he was going to play one of the big festivals back, and this is like 1974. And he came in with a band and started performing, and then he was ridiculed. He was told he was from Satan because it was the devil's music. People tried to cast the demons out of him. You know, it reminds me in the Bible where Jesus talks about how his own does not accept him. There's a comedian, Mark Lauer. He was I was watching something a few days ago, and how he was talking about Jesus hung out with the prostitutes and the tax collectors, didn't hang out with his own kind because they didn't want him. So, of course, the joke went from him that he needs to start hanging out with prostitutes and tax collectors because, the Christians don't want him. I mean, you need to think about that. What is your problem? What is my problem? I'm not saying that I am by any means 100% and do not fail. But I know I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to share peace and harmony. I don't care if you're Republican, you're Democrat. It doesn't matter. Love one another. Take care of one another. Christian, non-Christian, Jew, Gentile, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness. I mean, bottom line is, when it's all said and done, that's between you and your Maker. That's between you and God. It's not between you and me. Between me and God is how I treated you when you needed help. The parable that Jesus shared, that those that you take care of that need, that is where he is. You take care of the least of them, you're taking care of me. The story we hear about the man who heard the knock at the door, and there was someone that needed a coat, and he gave them a coat. Someone who knocked at the door and they needed to eat, and he fed them as he was waiting for Jesus. And he asked, "Where have you been, Lord?" He says, "I've been there. I've come. You've taken care of me." We really need to look into ourselves as we're dealing and seeing what's happening in the world. We need to really figure out what is going on, what the issues are, and how are we going to help. Are we going to help, or are we going to be part of the problem? I mean, we hear that many times, and that's very true. It's one of two ways. Either you are the solution or you are the problem. And we have to decide and understand where we stand to deal with that. Love. Love God. Love your neighbor. Love yourself. Love, love, love. I cannot say it enough. Help one another. Be there for one another. Take care of one another. Someone needs something, help them. To the best of your ability. I'm not saying to hurt yourself in the process, because if you're needing help yourself, but if you can help. 1 John 4 is what we looked at today. Read it. What does it say? How does it speak to you? How can you take that and apply it to your life? Both personally and professionally. Remember, it's being better. Being better today than you were yesterday. Being better tomorrow than I was today. How am I dealing with people around me? How am I dealing with life and how things are happening? Again, am I part of the solution or am I part of the problem? To me, if you are causing separation, I do not care who you are. You are part of the problem. You know, the Creed song, with arms wide open. We read in the Bible how God is there with his arms wide open waiting for us. Our arms should also be there wide open for others, waiting for them when they need help. To be there. To help them in their situation, their circumstance. It's not just being there when they're up, it's being there when they're down. We all have our ups and downs. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless. Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.